I guess I'll call this the game of the midweek because it's the Dolphins visiting the Bengals. The Bengals are favored by 4 points in this game. By the numbers, the Dolphins defied logic with their own win against the Bills to go 3-0. They also followed that up after they made an impossible comeback last week to take down the Ravens. I think the Dolphins will get to Joe Burrow this week, though. But Daniel, I'll go to you. What's your take on this game here?
You said midweek at first, and I just had an aneurysm. I was like, what?
It's a Thursday night game, so that's why I said that.
I figured that out after a couple
I was thinking fucking Wednesday. I was like, what? There's a game tomorrow?
By the way, over under spreads, I'm going to give them, so you guys don't ask me during the thing. Bengals favored by 4. Over under is 47.
I'm going to ask you anyway.
I got the Dolphins in this game. I think that the Dolphins will show up. They'll get to Joe Burrow because, like you said earlier, that offensive line is ace. So they didn't get better in the offseason. They're still terrible. I like the Dolphins. The Bengals are at home, but I think the Dolphins are going to pull it out and go 4-0. Take the Dolphins straight up. They're plus 170. I do like the over in this game, though, because I think both teams are going to score over 47.
I'm actually taking the Bengals in this game with or without Tua, believe it or not. I do think that since his offensive line is figuring out just a little tiny bit with you said no sacks recorded last week, yeah?
I didn't see any sacks and any stats, so I'm going to say no sacks. I'm probably wrong, and probably all you fact checkers will come up and be, actually, he got sacked 8 times. But whatever.
8 times? Jesus Christ. But no, I mean, Tua should be in fucking concussion protocol. I'm upset that he's not. It's just not fair to the rest of the league. I hope the Players Association investigates that and puts him into it. They probably won't. Either way, I'm taking the Bengals here. They need to bounce back, and it's a must-win for them, I think. They're just not this bad, I don't think. Like we've been saying, their offensive line was supposed to get better, and so far they have proven that they've gotten worse. But I think a lot of that is going to have to do with coaching, and I think they're getting a lot of, like, not practice in, but obviously you get practice and your reps in. But I don't know. I'm not sold that they're worse than they were last year. I just don't want to believe it, honestly. But yeah, I'm taking the Bengals in this game.
I am going to go with the Dolphins winning this one. I told you guys last week if there was going to be one week that they were going to beat the Bills, it was going to be this time, and it happened. The Dolphins are looking strong, and I'm telling you that line's not going to be able to hold him back and keep Burrow safe enough for him to get a pass out there. I see the Dolphins taking it easily.
Can't believe all of you people. They're going to be wearing the all-white uniforms with those new sick white helmets.
That too.
And you guys are picking the Dolphins.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Because guess what? I am too. I just can't. I can't see Cincinnati winning with no offensive line.
Joe Burrow's going to be so bloody. Gonna be so red.
Yeah, I agree with all of you guys. The Dolphins are just on a different level this year, and Cincinnati can protect their quarterback to save their lives. Even I'm gonna take the Dolphins straight up as well. I'll bet the over. It's gonna be a high scoring game, but the Dolphins take this one pretty easily.
I'm waiting for all the Bengal fans coming in after the Bengals win this game. You're like, oh, you didn't know shit. You don't know shit. Yeah, ready for you.
Who
dey? Next game here, we have the Chargers rolling into Houston to take on the Texans. The Chargers seemed out of sorts with Justin Herbert not fully healthy against the Jaguars. Chargers are favored by 4.5 in this game. The over-under is 44.5. I probably wouldn't bet the over-under in this game because I don't know what's going to happen. The Chargers are probably pissed, though. And I don't know if Justin Herbert is 100%. So I do like the Chargers to win this game. I think they do cover as well. They cover the 4.5. They beat the Texans in Houston. I like the Chargers. Give me them covering 4.5.
I would be surprised if Davis Mills starts gunslinging. That guy is just not it. The Chargers fucking fluked last week, dude. There's no way that Jacksonville should have gone in there and won. Was it 24-0?
Well, at one point, yeah.
It's insane.
They won 38-10.
Still trying to. It was 38-10 final.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's a fluke game in my opinion. It's just a mess all around, and one of those that you just can't climb out of. You just keep digging yourself deeper and deeper, and you just can't climb back out no matter what. We still don't know what the fuck is going on with Jacksonville either. So, I mean, they might just be really good. But yeah, hopefully Justin Herbert is getting a little bit healthier this week. He still played last week. He didn't have a god-awful game. He still put up, I think, 15 fantasy points. I think the Chargers will be just fine, and I think the Texans are still the Texans, and they have not proved me otherwise. The closest game they had was against the Colts in week 1, and like I keep saying, week 1 in the NFL is just a mess in itself. Everybody trying to figure out what they're doing. So I'm taking the Chargers in this game pretty big. I'll take the Chargers covering the spread, but not the over. I'm going to take the under on that because I don't think the Texans can score.
I mean, yeah, you could ask the Colts fans about that.
Shut the fuck up. We beat the Chiefs, okay?
Yeah, the Texans can't score, but Davis Mills, I mean, he might be a quarterback to watch out for in a couple of years. I mean, he's not doing pretty bad. At the start of last week, he and Mahomes were the only quarterbacks to not throw an interception yet this year. But I just don't think that Texans offense can score at all, honestly. The Chargers are a good team. They like you guys said, they had a fluke last week against Jacksonville. Justin Herbert wasn't 100%. He should be a lot better this week. And I think they should be able to take care of business. I'm going to take the under for the points, and I'll take LA covering the 4.5.
I am going to go with the Chargers as well. The Texans are a lot better than we expected them to be, but they're still not all there. I don't think they'll have enough to beat the Chargers. I think they'll be able to hit 44 points between the two of them. I'm going to go with the over on it.
Titans go into Indianapolis to face the Colts. The Colts are favored by 3.5. The over-under is 42.5. Derrick Henry got on track for the Titans last week to earn them their first win. Jonathan Taylor has been contained for a couple games, but the Colts were able to get a big win against Kansas City without him going off in week 2. Titans are crumbling a bit up front. It's a break for the Colts, and I like the Colts this week. I like us to cover. I think we're going to win like 24-17 or something like that. If we don't, I'm going to be very upset. We should destroy the Titans. The Colts do not look, the Titans do not look good this year. Colts didn't look good the first couple games. I think they figured things out last week. They shut down Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. We need to figure out our offensive line, though. If we can figure that out, we'll be a threat. Colts cover. I'd even take I'm doing 24-17. I'm taking the under, right? 42.5.
Taking the under.
Yeah, so I got the under in the points. Colts cover the 3.5 and beat the Titans.
I'm going to go with the Colts as well. I think the battle of struggles, I think the Colts are better suited for it. The Titans finally realized that they had a receiver one in Woods, and they finally started utilizing that last week, which came too late in the season. I know we're barely on week 4, but they should have realized that they had a receiver way before this. They still have a lot of work to do. The Titans are not what they were last year, so I'm going to give it to the Colts.
Yeah, I have the Colts taking this game, honestly. Casey kind of nailed it. Tennessee can't figure out themselves to save their lives. Indy did find themselves against Kansas City, but as Casey said last week, Indy shows up for games they shouldn't win, and then they don't show up for games they should win. So this could be a very messy game for Indy, and they can go 0-3 in the division, and that's going to be worst case scenario for Casey's team, which he would absolutely hate. But I think Indy will still win. I'm going to take the under. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game because both teams' offenses are not as good as they should be. So I'm going to take the under, but I'm going to have Indy covering the 3.5. I think they'll win by 4.
Like, it should be an easy pick in the Colts, right? It's not. It's not an easy pick because, 1, the division rivalry, and 2, we don't know what the fuck the Colts are doing. They had a great game last week, beat out the Chiefs. Nobody thought that was going to happen. Like Steven said, that Casey said, the Colts win games that they're not supposed to, and they lose the games that they are supposed to win. It's just so stupid.
Every year, man. Every year, and it pisses me off.
That would piss me off too.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Colts in this game because I don't believe in anything but Derrick Henry for the Titans. I think Derrick Henry might rack up a lot of yards and maybe a couple touchdowns. But yeah, I'm going to take the Colts here. I'm going to take them covering the spread. The defenses on these teams are not great, but the offenses aren't either. I think it's going to be a ground and pound game between running backs, honestly, with Jonathan Taylor on one end and Derrick Henry on the other. So I think I'm going to take the under 42.5. The Colts cover the spread.
We have the Buffalo Bills rolling into Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Bills, like I said, statistically dominated the Dolphins with Josh Allen having another massive game. They ended up stopping themselves in critical situations that cost them the game. Like I said, you got to run out of bounds when there's 8 seconds left, dude. The Ravens melted down late against the Dolphins, or they would be 3-0. And Buffalo is favored by 3 in this game. The over-under is 52. The over may hit in this game, guys. The over may hit, especially if Buffalo's secondary is not there. The game is in Baltimore. I do like Buffalo to cover the spread. I think they're going to win by more than 3. I think the Bills are going to be really pissed. Baltimore is a great team, though, and depending on how Lamar Jackson plays, and like you said, Daniel, they need to bring back the running game. We could see a shootout, but points are going to be scored. That's why I said boom for Andrews earlier. I think he's definitely going to boom, but we'll see what happens.
I am unfortunately taking the Ravens this week. Unfortunately, because they're in my division. Fuck them. The Bills just got knocked back. They realized that we can't beat them. They're human. Both offenses are really explosive. It's going to come down again to the defenses. Unfortunately, I see the Ravens defense being a little better than the Bills right now, especially if the Ravens are able to play the way they played the Dolphins in the first half. They should be good to pull this one out. Just because of that, I think the Ravens should put up a good fight and they'll be able to win it. It'll be a really close game. Obviously, I don't have to cover the spread because I'm picking the Ravens, but I don't even know what the over under is, but I'm gonna pick over because
It's 52.
damn these two people.
52.
52 right now.
Yeah, it'll be over.
I'm not gonna go with Tony's prediction. I'm gonna say the Bills. The Bills are gonna be angry they lost, but the question relies on their secondary. If they all come back, it should be an easier game for the Bills. If not, it's definitely gonna be a really big shootout. But I think the Bills will win this game. What the heck? I'll say the Bills cover the 3 points and 52 points. I'll say over. Fuck it.
Fuck it. I love it. Sometimes you just got to do it. Fuck it. Throw the money out there. Boom.
Yeah. Fuck it.
You
I'll
win,
say
you
the
win.
over.
Yeah.
That's 26-26. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
I mean, that's doable in the NFL now.
It's very doable with both of these teams for sure. I'm on board with Casey and Steven on this wholeheartedly. Buffalo's going to be pissed off that they didn't win the game last week. Josh Allen has a fire lit under his ass, and he's going to fucking come out and throw for 400 passing yards. I hope Gabe Davis scores 2 to 3 touchdowns this week because he's on my fantasy team. This is an easy pick for me. Don't like get me wrong here. The Ravens could show up and compete, but I feel like the Ravens have to have everything go perfect, and Buffalo does not have to have everything go perfect for them to win still.
Yep.
That's where I'm at on this. For me, it's an easier pick just personally. I'm going to take the Bills covering the spread and easy over for me on that. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Both of the defenses are not great. And I see a lot of players reaching the end zone this week and a lot of scoring going on.
I just want to throw out there that every time you guys leave me as an odd man out, I end up winning that week.
But you've never pointed it out before, so you're probably going to lose.
That's probably it.
Just jinx your stuff, you fuck.
Next game here, we have the Jets rolling into Tony's Steelers. The Jets are 3-point underdogs to the Steelers. Steelers are favored by 3.5. Sorry, 3.5. The over-under is 40.5. I might like the under in this game because both offenses are poo-poo.
Poo-poo.
My biggest take on this game is it looks like the Steelers won't get one more shot at their old Ravens rival, Joe Flacco, because I think Zach Wilson's coming back this week, so we'll see what happens. But I think he's just expected to return for New York. But I don't know why the Steelers insist on sticking with Mitchell Trubisky over Kenny Pickett. They need to make way. I do think the Steelers will win this game because the Jets are just a terrible football team. I don't know if the Steelers cover, though. It's not a bet I would take, the 3.5 there. I think the Jets keep it closer, and the Jets may cover. But this is a game I'm staying away from. I'm not betting anything on it. But Tony, this is your team. Here we go.
You obviously know who I'm going to pick. Boswell's going to take us all the way to Super Bowl because he's the only one that could score these days. No, like you said, the Jets are just a terrible team. Yeah, we're not going to get to see Joe Flacco. Disappointing. Should have known if you picked him up. But we were going to pick up a veteran quarterback. He should have been the one to go to because, goddamn, Trubisky sucks. But they are playing at home, so hopefully all the booing will get Tomlin to finally decide to give Kenny a shot towards the third, fourth quarter. So that'll be great. But yeah, I picked the Steelers. 3.5. I don't see the Jets covering. What's the over under?
40.5. That's a good number for this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go over. Yeah, well, fuck it. Oh, let's go over.
You always take the over unless you think it's the under.
Well, obviously,
Okay.
that's how it works.
All right, good advice from
bless.
Casey. You always take the over unless you think it's under.
Betting advice from Casey.
The Jets. Yeah, they can't figure themselves out either. With a new quarterback, they could see some promise coming back in, but I just don't think so. Pittsburgh's defense, I think, is a lot better. That they should be able to take control of this game pretty easily and not let the Jets score as much. That being said, the Steelers can't score either, so definitely taking the under for this game. I think I'll have Pittsburgh cover. I think they'll win by 4. I think they'll win 21-17.
The Jets are not as bad as everyone thinks, and Zach Wilson's coming back, baby. So you get rid of fucking Joe Flacco, who has not ever had any control of his arm and has always thrown the ball at 95 miles an hour. The two losses that the Jets have this season are to a very good Ravens team and a good Bengals team. They should be very good, but it's the fucking Bengals. There's no way. The game that they did win, though, was against a decent Browns team. Brands. I put the Brands on the same level as the Steelers at this point. I agree with Tony wholeheartedly in get the fuck out Mitchell Trubisky. Just get him out. Like he's Mitchell Trubisky has had years to prove himself with different teams, different coaches, and different situations. He hasn't in any of the situations. He just hasn't. It's unfortunate for him, but Mike Tomlin's got to know when to fucking pull the cord and just get him out and give the youngin a chance. I think it's time for that. I am going to take the Steelers in this game. I don't know. This game could go either way, but I'm going to take the Steelers just because they're at home, and I think that crowd gets behind them. And, I mean, Tony, hopefully you get your boy in there at quarterback and get rid of Mitchell Trubisky because that can only help. For the spread, I'm going to keep it close. I'm going to take the Jets to cover the 3.5. I'm going to take the under for this game.
All right, next game here, we have the Broncos rolling into the Raiders. Last week, the Broncos played the most boring game probably in NFL history, and if you guys thought that game was boring, this one might. I don't think it's going to top it, but this one could be pretty boring. The Raiders are favored by 2.5 at home against these lowly Broncos. The over-under is 45.5. I like the under there because I don't think either team is going to score a lot. The Broncos defense, I will say, is for real. The Broncos defense is really good. Raiders need to figure some shit out because they're 0-3 right now. Like I said, I told y'all preseason, I am not a believer in this Raiders team, and they're proving it to me so far. 0-3. They haven't won any games. Everybody thought I was crazy. They said they were going to win over 14 games. I'm like, you're high. There's no way. This Raiders team is playing at home. They're going to be mad because they haven't won yet. They probably should have beat Tennessee last week, but Tennessee got a last-minute touchdown to seal the deal there. I think the Raiders are going to be... They got to fire up under their ass, and they're going to win. I think they're going to win this game. I think they cover the 2.5. I think they win by about 3. So I think this final... I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game at all. I think the end of this game is going to be like 17-14, 20-17, 20-14, something like that. But I like the Raiders to win. Give me the under 45.5. Raiders cover the 2.5.
It's going to be a snooze fest, honestly. Broncos can't do anything on offense. The Raiders can, but the Broncos defense is just really good. So it's going to be a low-scoring game. I have the Raiders winning also. I think being at home will light a fire under their ass and have them win. They can start 0-4. I just don't think they can do that. So I'm going to have the Raiders winning 2.5 points. I'm going to have them cover, but I'll take the under definitely.
I am going to agree with you guys and go with the Raiders winning. That is what you said, right? I'm sorry.
Correct. We both said the same thing, essentially.
Raiders are going to win it. They have their offensive game figured out way better than the scoreless Broncos, so it should be easy win for them on that deficit alone that they figured out how to score as to where the Broncos are still struggling.
Well, fuck. Now I have to pick the Broncos. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to. Fuck them. This game is another one. This is just like the last game we picked, the Jets and the Steelers. They're both mediocre-ass teams. Casey, I'm sorry. I'll formally apologize. The Raiders fucking suck, okay? I thought they were going to be much better than this. They just have not proved themselves. Having said that, the fire is lit, and it's a big one. It's a big fire under their ass. And they need to fucking get it together, or there's no reason that they should start the season 0-3, let alone 0-4. Going back home to Vegas against a very mediocre Broncos team, which I was very skeptical about this Broncos team going into the season. Everybody was like, oh, they're going to win the division. Shut up. No, they're not. You got Russell Wilson. That's it. Who else you got? You got boring ass. Well, Cortland Sutton's all right.
You got a defense.
You got Jerry Jeudy. This is not. They're not a great team. They're a decent team. Middle of the pack for sure. I'm taking the Raiders in this game at home just because the biggest thing is that they can't go 0-4. It's a must-win game for them or their season is chalked.
Yep.
I know it's a 17-game season, but if you start 0-4, you're basically climbing out of a fucking canyon at that point, and it's just not good. So yeah, I like the Raiders to win this game. I think it's going to be another close game. I think it's just going to be just like the Broncos and Niners last week because the defense is going to keep the Broncos in the game. Neither of the teams can really score from what we've seen. So I'm going to take the Broncos covering the 2.5. It's a very close game. I think it'll be like a last-second field goal type game to take the lead, but I'm definitely taking the under on this game. I don't see a lot of scoring at all.
Either. I don't even know how the over-under is that high. 49.5. That's a lot of points. The Cowboys and the Giants have better offenses than both of these teams, and they didn't score 49.5 points yesterday. Next game here, we got my favorite team to say, the Browns, going up to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Browns are favored by 1.5. The over-under in this game is 49.5. The Browns, believe it or not, should be 3-0. They should be a 3-0 team. They had that late meltdown against the Jets, which Browns, being the Browns, I cannot believe you guys lost that game with a minute left. Up by what you were, but you got to move on. They will go into Atlanta well rested and likely some traveling support from their dog pound. Roof, 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 roof. What the fuck you guys do? When Nick Chubb goes back to Georgia, the Falcons' run defense can prepare to get gashed. I think the Browns are going to win this game and I think the Browns are going to win this game by more than 1.5. Give me the Browns to cover. The over-under is 49.5. I think the Falcons can score some points. I don't think the total points in the game goes to 49.5, though. Give me the under on that, but probably just barely. Probably low 40s. I think I see this game's going in. Give me the Browns. Cover under 49.5.
It could very well be a shootout, honestly. Like you said, Cleveland is not as bad as they look on with their record. They should be 3-0. They melt down against the Jets. I mean, that onside kick and then that blown coverage just completely blew the steam off that stadium. The Falcons are an up and coming team, as we said with the Boomer Bust. It can be a pretty fun game to watch, honestly. I think the Browns will still hang on and win the game. But I think it's going to be high scoring. I think I'm going to take the over for this. Browns cover with the over. That's my pick for this game.
I'm going to go with the Browns as well. And I hate myself for doing it, but their running game is insane. God damn it, I forgot his name. And Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
And Chubb.
Sure, remember
Chubb,
his name. He put the game away against you guys last week.
Yeah, he did. But they're just, honestly, we were able to contain them, and then those fourth down situations where we kept on getting us. They're taking a lot of fourth down options, which is great on them because it's been working. It's been playing out for them. So I see the Browns playing a pretty good game against the Falcons, especially if they keep on going with that run situation they got going on because they have a double threat in the backfield.
I'm in agreement with Steve. Well, I'm in agreement with all you guys in taking the Browns, but I think Steven was pretty good in what he said with the shootout. I think this game's going to be a shootout. Where are the defenses? Where are they? Not there. They don't exist.
Browns have a better defense for sure.
That's true. And that's why I'm taking Cleveland. I think, like you said, Casey, that they're going to fucking run down the Falcons' throats. And I think Nick Chubb is going to go off. And you have fucking, what's his name? The other guy. Tony couldn't remember.
Kareem Hunt.
I can't remember. Kareem Hunt. Jesus Christ. With Kareem Hunt to compliment Nick Chubb there. They're just going to run all over the Falcons. And the other side of the ball, I mean, Marcus Mariota is going to sling it. We had Drake London. I think we all had Drake London booming, right?
Booming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I could very well see this game being a shootout. 49.5 isn't too high for this game, I don't think. Just because I think the offenses will produce. Taking the Browns to cover the spread of 1.5. I think they win by, I'm going to say a touchdown. I'm going to say they're going to win by a touchdown. Maybe 10 points. So I'll have them cover that. And I'm definitely taking the over in this game at 49.5. That puts you at like a 25-27 game that covers. So
next game that could be sneaky good. We have the Jaguars rolling into Philadelphia. Believe it or not, the spread's pretty large. Philadelphia is favored by 6.5 in this game. The over-under is 48. This is the Doug Peterson revenge game. Returning to Philadelphia. Let's see if he fares any better than Carson Wentz did in week 1 or week 2, whenever they played. Peterson has his offense looking complete. The Jaguars destroyed my Colts this year, and I was shocked that we didn't even score a touchdown against the Jaguars. Like that's shocking. And this is a good defensive challenge for the Jaguars. The Jaguars defense is seeing some young players stand out early, but there are still enough issues to struggle on the road with the Eagles' balanced and explosive offense. Jalen Hurts is insane this year. He's gone into like God mode, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's going nuts. It's really fucking annoying.
Don't think the Eagles cover 6.5 though. If the Jaguars are the team they've shown us in the first couple weeks, I think that they'll cover the 6.5. I don't think they're beating the Eagles in Philadelphia. I think this is where the Jaguars come down to earth. I think it's a good game. Like it could be a sneaky good game. I like Philly in this game. I like them to win by 4 or 5. I think the Jaguars can cover. I'll take the over 48. Fuck it. Let's go. So that's what I'm going to take there. But if the Jaguars win this game, they're for real. That's the thing. If the Jaguars win this game, they shouldn't be 6 or more point dogs the rest of the year. I don't care who they're playing.
Yeah, I mean, that Philly offense and defense, they're scary. But the Jaguars have proved a lot of us wrong already this year. They already have 2 wins. I mean, I think most of us had them 4 or 5 wins this year.
Something like that. I think I had them at 6.
They're already outperforming what we thought they would do. 6.5 points is steep for a cover. This game is going to be good. And if Jacksonville can contain Jalen Hurts in the pocket and keep him from scrambling, I think Jacksonville will put up a really good fight. That's what's been hurting a lot of teams against Philly is Jalen Hurts has just been going off, both running and passing. And if they can control one, if they can keep him in the pocket and make him have to throw, which he's been historically inconsistent, they can pull this off and win and show the world that they're for real this year. That being said, I think the Eagles will still win. I think they're just a better team overall. I don't have Philly covering this game. And I think I'm going to actually take the under in this 48 points. I think both defenses will play better. than what people think, but it's going to be a good game.
So I have an Eagles win. I have them covering 40 to 48. Was it 48 over? That's a tough one. It would have to be a 28 to 20 score. I see it going over. Fuck it. But I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts is getting more and more comfortable, especially with that offense. He's figured out when to scramble and when to look up and find AJ. The Eagles are playing really good football, so I see them. I see them being able to beat the Jaguars very easily. But let's not take out of proportion that the Jaguars are doing a lot better than we expected them to. Even them losing this game, it won't diminish the fact that they could still show us that they're actually a force to be reckoned with this season, depending on how they're able to contain what score they're able to contain the Eagles to. So it's going to be a proving day for the Jaguars.
I'm very torn right now. I just don't know, because the Jaguars have proved everybody wrong. Except for in week 1 when they lost to the Commanders. That was the real Jaguars that we know and love. But 24-0 to the Colts, 38-10 to the fucking Chargers.
I'm still shocked.
LA.
I'm still shocked.
I don't know, man. And then this is a proving game for Doug Peterson, and going into the Philly, the thing that gets me too is that Philly is part of the NFC East, and our division makes no fucking sense ever. I almost want to pick Jacksonville to win this game, but I'm going to go with the safer quote unquote pick, and I'm going to take Philly. I've said it plenty of times already, and I don't want to say it anymore, but Philly is the best team in the NFC East in the NFC right now. There's no denying it. Jalen Hurts is doing crazy things that everybody wanted him to do as soon as he got into the league. He's doing it now, guys. He's fucking doing it now, and it sucks ass. This is a very tough game to pick because Jacksonville has proved themselves so well so far. I do think, though, this is just my personal thoughts, I think Jacksonville gets grounded hard this week in a very, very tough Philadelphia team. I'm taking Philly to cover the 6.5 spread, and I think I'm going to take the under just because I don't think Jacksonville is going to put up a lot of points on Philly's defense. Their defense has just been lights out lately. Yeah, so I'm taking Philly to cover the 6.5, and I'm taking the under. Give me Philly like 28-3.
Oh,
no. Give it 28-7. I'll give Jacksonville a touchdown.
28-7.
But I think Jacksonville is getting grounded hard this week.
So this is your blowout of the week.
Yeah.
Next game here. This is my blowout of the week, and I'll explain why. New England rolling into Green Bay. The Packers are favored by 10 in this game.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's a big spread. The over-under is 40.5. I like the under in this game, but the Packers are rolling with the ideal offense, defense complement, and football here, and they played a good game against Tampa Bay last week and got the win on the road. Here's where things start to differ. Mac Jones is hurt. He's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots will need to hope that Brian Hoyer, who is filling in for Mac Jones, can dig deep and find something more in the passing game while being run heavy. That won't work well on the road in Lambeau Field in their current dysfunctional offense that they got right now. I like the Packers big in this game. I like them. I'll bet the 10 on the Packers. I think they're going to blow the Patriots out of the water in this game. I like the under 40.5 because I don't think the Patriots are going to score. So I think they'll score some points, but that's not going to be a lot. Give me the Packers big. My blowout of the week.
The Patriots are just in shambles right now without Mac Jones. I mean, not that they were doing well with him anyway, but that definitely does hurt their offense, even though they have a boring offense. The Packers are finding themselves, I think. They've gone 2 straight wins in a row. Granted, they haven't been pretty, but they've won 2 games in a row. That's all that matters in the NFL. So I have the Packers winning, especially in Lambeau. Patriots are just not the same Patriots that we all grew up with, so which is nice to see, honestly. So Packers winning big. I'll take the under definitely, but yeah.
I'm going to pick the Packers as well. The Patriots are going to be struggling without Mac Jones. I mean, Casey hit it spot on. The 10-point deficit. I don't know if it'll be a blowout, an insane blowout, but I see them covering that 10-point deficit. What did you say the over-under was?
The over-under in this game is 40.5.
I'm going to go under.
I wanted to defend the Patriots here a little bit with the spread, but you got Brian Hoyer as your quarterback, so...
That's what when I saw that, I was like, blowout of the week. Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
Here's the thing that I'll say over and over again. The fucking NFL, man. It's just, you never know for sure. I'm on board, though. Fuck it. I'm on board. I'm taking Green Bay regardless. That was my pick initially. But for this 10-point spread, I'll take it. I just don't, I'm in agreement with you, Casey. I don't see New England scoring with that bogus-ass offense. And especially in Lambeau, it's going to be loud as fuck. And they're coming off a good win against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's a tough ass team. Tom Brady was pissed last week.
Mhm.
The Packers really have to fuck up to lose this game.
Yeah, that's
like
the
they
thing.
really have to fuck up.
I don't think the Packers are going to score a lot. So I'll say like 21-3 Packers. I think that's where I'm going with that. 21-3 Packers.
Kansas City Chiefs, who are supposed to roll into Tampa Bay, but they might play at a neutral site because of the hurricane coming in. Right now, Kansas City is favored by 2. The over-under in this game is 45.5. This should be a great game. Patrick Mahomes and these Chiefs couldn't get much of anything going against a very similar Todd Bowles-led Buccaneers defense in Super Bowl 55. The Buccaneers have their share of offensive issues around Tom Brady tied to injuries. They do get Mike Evans back this week, I believe, though, from his one-game suspension, so they'll be fine there. He gets another weapon. Kansas City will see more of a compressed passing game again, while Tampa sees some expansion to how it usually has operated with Tom Brady. I like the Chiefs in this game. I think the Colts pissed off Kansas City last week. So I think the Chiefs bounce back. Tampa Bay is going to be pissed too, but I know you say never bet against Tom Brady, but I'm going to bet against Tom Brady. I like the Chiefs. I think they cover the 2. Give me the over 45.5 because I think both teams are going to put up some points.
I don't know about that. I mean, the Tampa Bay just struggled to score any points besides against New Orleans when they just went off in that fourth quarter. But New Orleans hasn't been as good as we thought they were going to be. But this being a neutral site game can affect a lot, as we saw last year with the Saints and the Packers when the Saints got relocated for a week. But it's opposite this time. I think the Chiefs will still pull this off. I think they're going to be more mad than the Bucs will be. Yes, the Bucs are getting Mike Evans back, but I just don't think it's enough to keep up with the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs covering, and I'm actually going to take the under in this game. I just don't think Tampa Bay will be able to score as much. Tampa's defense is actually really good. They haven't given up more than 20 points this whole season. So it's going to be a tight game. So I'll take the under definitely for the spread.
I'm going to go Chiefs as well. I think they just had an off week. And in terms of the offensive side on its own, the Colts were able to contain them really very well. So I think the Chiefs will be back, especially with a struggling Buccaneers team. So they should be back on track with it. Tom Brady also has a lot of stuff going on in his personal life, which is distracting him from the game. With Mike Evans coming back, though, that should help him, but not enough to beat the Chiefs. I just need the Chiefs' run defense to suck. That'd be great. If they could do that, and if Patrick Mahomes could figure out that he has other receivers, that'd be a great help. But it should be a routine win for the Chiefs. They're a really explosive offense. What did you say the over-under was?
45.5.
Yeah.
I see it going over just because they're such an explosive team, and I know Tom Brady's going to find a way to find that end zone. No matter how much they're struggling, he always finds a way to get in there.
He hasn't done anything for me all fantasy season.
Yes, I have the Chiefs Bucks going over.
I think this game is going to be more pissed off because the Chiefs had no business getting blown out. It wasn't a blowout game. That was a close game. Losing to the Colts in general. Tampa Bay, I mean, shouldn't have really lost either in Tampa like that. Neutral site going to be a big factor for sure. If they do play in Tennessee, there's going to be a lot more Kansas City fans there than there would be in Tampa Bay. I think if they move it to Tennessee, Kansas City will have home field advantage. I think this game is going to be whatever defense steps up more. The offenses will produce. You have Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans back for Tampa. And then, I mean, the Chiefs, I don't even have to say it. We know their offense. Their offense is just Patrick Mahomes back there, Travis Kelce, the whole shebang. So I think the defenses are going to be the biggest factor in this game. Who's can hold on the longest. I think it'll be a low-scoring game because that's what the Bucs like to do. They like to play boring games, apparently. I am going to go with a 1-point game for the Chiefs, under 45.5.
Next game here, me and Daniel have been getting a lot of shit for on TikTok. The Minnesota Vikings are not rolling into New Orleans because they're playing this game in London, as all you TikTok people have to make us figure out.
Make us fucking aware. God,
yeah, my gosh.
So we get it. You're correct.
God. We get
God.
it. They're in London. Gonna have some tea and crumpets. All
That's
right.
literally all of the comments on our picks this week.
Yeah.
Didn't you know they're playing in London?
Nothing about
they're
the
playing
picks.
In London.
They're playing in London. Hey, Daniel, did you know they're playing in London?
I didn't know that, dude.
All right,
Thanks
hey,
for letting me know.
Hey, they're playing in London. They're playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Look, I even named the stadium. Some soccer team over there. I don't know. And yes, it's soccer.
Oh, really? Really?
It's not football. Sorry, Tony. Not all of us are like inclined to watch soccer because it's called soccer, not football. All right.
Damn.
Anywho, Minnesota Vikings rolling into Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to take on the New Orleans Saints. Minnesota is favored by 3 in this game. The over-under is 43.5. Minnesota is still trying to figure out its offensive identity under Kevin O'Connell. I wouldn't say they really got on track versus the Lions because they survived versus the Lions last week. They can have more success on the ground with or without Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's going to be hurt this week, I think. So if you have Alexander Madison, prepare to fire him up. The Saints are all over the place in trying to figure out a balance in explosiveness with Jameis Winston, and will come up in hurting more with the key offensive injuries. I picked the Saints originally. I'm changing that pick. I like the Vikings in this game.
Ooh, no balls.
I think the Vikings are going to win this game. I should not have picked the Saints. Like I said, we made those picks at like 1 a.m. last night. I just got off a plane from Indy. Me and Daniel jumped on. We were tired as fuck, okay?
I'm not changing any of my picks,
yeah,
bitch.
I'm changing that one because that was a stupid pick. That was a stupid pick.
We'll see.
Minnesota is winning this game. Minnesota is covering the 3. I like the under 43.5 though. I don't think both teams can score over 43.5 points. The Saints especially. Minnesota, that's my pick.
Oh, sorry. The chat would like to remind you guys that the game's in London.
Oh, hey.
Thanks, guys.
Monica goes,
aware.
London, isn't it? Liam, I heard something about this game being played in London. Hey, Liam, thanks for letting me know it's in London, man. I didn't know.
Appreciate it, man. Good looking out.
Yeah, man, this might affect my pick, guys. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Gosh, I changed my pick. Yeah,
all right.
I changed mine.
They got through to him.
I should have picked the Vikings from the get-go, though. The Vikings are going to win this game.
I have to agree with Casey. I have the Vikings winning this game. New Orleans hasn't been able to do anything this year other than barely squeak by the Falcons the last second of the first game. Other than that, they've just been utterly discombobulated on offense. Their defense is okay, but they're just not the defense we thought they were going to be earlier this year. I just don't see them scoring enough points to beat the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings at least have Justin Jefferson. They have Dalvin Cook. I know he's hurt, but they have Dalvin Cook. They have Kirk Cousins. I mean, they're a pretty rounded team, and they have a pretty decent defense. So I have the Vikings winning. Covering the 3 points, I think they'll cover, and I'll take the under for this game. So give me the Vikings.
I'm going to go Vikings as well, and it's because of an external factor that you guys probably overlooked, is that they're playing in London. Because of this, I think the Vikings are going to have a pretty good game out there. It's a different time zone, in case you didn't know either. So they're going to be winning. The Saints are struggling too much for me to be able to go with them, especially in London. But yeah, I see them going under as well. They're not very high scoring offenses this season, unfortunately, for both teams. And I see them covering. So I agree with you all. I
am lone wolfing here, fellas. I'm taking the Saints. I'm sticking with them. I mean, the Vikings are favored by 3 right now. I think it'll be a tight game. I don't know. The Vikings, they looked good to start the season, and they fell right back into their old ways real quick. So I'm taking Jameis with his fractured ass ribs to lead the Saints to a victory in London over the Minnesota Vikings. I'm gonna take the Saints. Obviously, they cover the spread because they are not favored. I think I want to take the over. 43 points leaves you at a 24-20 game. 43.5. I think that's gonna be the score. 24-20. New Orleans in London over the Vikings.
We have the Washington Commanders rolling into AT&T Stadium here in Dallas, where Steven and I reside. The Commanders are an absolute defensive mess under Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio. They cannot stop anything versus the run or pass and are very undisciplined in giving up big plays. Cowboys are methodical and creative offensively without Dak Prescott, as Cooper Rush and the running game are set up well to produce here. Then Micah Parsons and the Dallas defense will take care of the rest by taking it to Wentz. The over-under in this game, the Cowboys are favored by 3. That should be higher. Sorry, not the over-under. The spread is 3. The over-under is 42.5. I like the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys big at home over the Commanders. My final score prediction for this one's like 24-10, 24-12, something like that. I like the Cowboys big in this game. Give me the over in the points, though. Give me the over. I'm sorry. Give me the under in the... I can't fucking talk today. Give me the under in the points.
There it is.
There it is. There it goes.
For the week.
And the Cowboys cover the spread. Cowboys cover.
So you taking 24-10 in the score?
Yeah, 24-10 is gonna be the final score.
Here's hoping that Dallas can finally blow out a team this week. It's at home, big game, division game, always fun. Washington's Washington is reeling right now. I just don't see them putting up much of a fight, honestly, this week. Micah Parsons can probably go for two or three sacks this week, which will be fun to watch. Yeah, Cowboys winning big, covering. I have the under definitely. I don't think Washington will be able to score much. Cowboys actually haven't given up more than 20 points a game either, defensively. So I mean, their defense is doing pretty well. So Cowboys winning big. Should be a fun game to watch. I'm excited.
I hate to do it, but I'm gonna agree with you guys.
Tony's picking the Cowboys. He's doing it.
There's still time to change it. I haven't
No.
said it yet. I can't bring myself to it. God damn.
You can
this
be
hurts.
alone and pick the Commanders.
I'm gonna have to go with them. The Commanders are just struggling too much for me to be able to pick them. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys for the win. Casey had a pretty good prediction on the score, 24-10. So that should be an easy win for them. If they somehow end up losing, then that's gonna be worse. That's
Wouldn't surprise
go
me, honestly.
bad. That's gonna go bad for you guys on Monday. Obviously.
Yeah. I want to say something about the Dallas home crowd real quick. Y'all fucking suck. That game last year against the Niners was fucking bogus. I was so upset with the entire fan base during that game. It was so annoying. Because they're so reactive to things, and they just, like, if the team starts doing bad, they don't get them back into it. They just give up. A lot of it has to do with fucking Jerry getting all those wealthy ass people down there that aren't Cowboys fans into the good seats. The Commanders and the Cowboys this week, the division games, man, they scare me. They really do. I don't care who it is in our division. They always find a way to keep it close. I think Dallas's pass rush is better than Philly's. Carson Wentz is going to get eaten up this week. The Commanders, I don't think will be able to score a lot, at least. I think Cooper Rush is about equivalent to Carson Wentz at this point. I think Cooper Rush has proven himself really well, being 3-0 as a starter in the NFL somehow. Good for him. I love to see it. Casey, like you said, they're finding creative ways to use Cooper Rush and the running offense. So I'm going to take Dallas pretty big in this game. I think I'm going to take them bigger than you guys. It might be a Cowboys bias. Might not.
It is.
I'm going to take them 35-10 to push the over.
Seahawks rolling into Detroit. Seahawks are 4.5 point underdogs. The Lions are favored by 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
The over under is 50. Do you guys think both of these teams put up 50 points in this game?
No.
I mean, Detroit can put up 35, but I mean,
Seattle.
I don't know if Gino will be able to match it.
Here's the thing. Seattle can stay in this game with Geno Smith throwing to their wide receivers, given issues in the Detroit secondary. Detroit has some secondary issues right now. That will only happen for a little while, as Jared Goff and his weapons will see wide open spaces in coverage, and the Lions have proved they can pound the ball and run well on anyone. I like the Lions in this game. My mom is a huge Lions fan, so shout out to my mother. She's been a Lions fan from day one. We're going to the Lions-Cowboys game in a couple of weeks. Lions win. Lions cover the 4.5.
Yeah.
I don't think 50 points get scored in this game, though. I'm going to take the under on the 50.
Detroit's looking up. I have to agree. I think the Lions will pull this off. Seattle's they've been okay this year. I mean, they haven't struck us by any means necessary other than the Bronco game, but then we found out the Broncos just suck. So there's that. But the Lions are at home. They should have a nice big home field advantage. They're excited. They're seeing an actual good team this year. So give me Detroit covering. I have to agree. I don't think 50 points are going to get scored. I'll take the under.
Detroit is playing some really good football this year. A lot better than any of us expected. I don't think Gino will be able to match that kind of capacity of football. So I see the Lions winning it. We're going to go with the under as well, and Detroit will be able to cover. So we're all in consensus there.
Not all of us.
Daniel doesn't pick from us, so.
Nah, I'm just fucking kidding. The Lions are going to win this game easy. There's no question for me here. Now that I said it, though, they'll probably get creamed somehow.
Because we're all picking them, they're going to lose.
Yeah, probably. I think Geno Smith and the Seattle offense will hang in the game a little bit. Aiden Hutchinson's going to be a big problem for Geno, though, and that offensive line. I think Aiden Hutchinson is part of the new life in the Lions. Because that guy is he's just a born winner, man. He knows how to do it. He has the right mentality, and I think he's what's rubbing off on the Lions so much. A lot of football is in your mentality, and it's like that Mamba mentality that you're just going to go in and you're going to stomp people's fucking faces in, and there's no other way. You're just not going to lose because the feeling of loss sucks. And I think that's embedded in Aiden Hutchinson. I think the defense is going to contain Seattle very well this week. I have an exact score for this game. I'm taking the Lions 35-17 just to push it over. I think Seattle's offense is decent, and I think they will score a couple points. So I'm taking 35-17 Detroit. So that puts over, and the Lions cover.
The Bears going in
Bears.
to New York. The Bears are 3-point underdogs to the Giants. The over-under is 39. The Giants just hit that with the Cowboys this last week, 39 points. I think the Giants bounce back here and get a win over the lowly Bears. The Bears just are not they haven't really shown that they're a good football team at all this year. I know they just beat the Texans, but they won by 3. I like the Giants here. I think it's a good bounce back week for them. They'll win at home. I even think they cover the 3. As far as the over-under, I'm not touching it. 39 seems like a pretty good number for me. So if I had to pick one, I'd pick over. But my bet in this game would be Giants -3.
The way New York's playing, they're playing with confidence this year, which is doing well for them. They had the lead against Cowboys last night, and Cooper Rush decided to say, fuck that. And CeeDee Lamb decided to say, fuck that too. The Giants I think, are a lot better than we thought they were going to be also this year. I have them winning. I'll have them covering as well. I think they should win by a touchdown at least. 39 points. I just don't see the Bears scoring that much. I think the Giants defense is a lot better than what people give them. And I think I'm going to take the under for that.
I'm going to go with the Giants as well. I think out of the two teams, the Giants are playing better football than the Bears. The Bears have a ways to go. They're trending in a positive direction, but the Giants should be bouncing back from their hard loss last night. I'm going to go with the over. I believe both offenses can score more than 39 points combined, and I see the Giants covering.
I'm on board with you guys in the Giants. The only thing that I'm questioning right now is the Giants don't really have anyone to throw to. They just lost Sterling Shepard to an ACL tear. You never want to see that for anybody in the NFL. Doesn't matter what team they're on. Yeah, especially with no contact. ACL was just like, fuck you, I'm going to snap now. I mean, that really sucks for them. I think it's going to be just a run-oriented game. Like you guys said, the Bears haven't shown us anything this year, and the games that they have won, they were close, and they were boring, and they were low-scoring. So I'm going to take the Giants here. I'm going to take them to cover the 3 because I have more faith in Saquon Barkley than I do the Bears defense. This is a weird over-under, too, because I could very well see this game being like 2019 and just hitting even. You know what I mean? If I had to pick, I'm going to take the under just because these teams don't produce a lot. So I'm going to take the under. But I'll take the Giants to cover the 3. I'm going to say like a low-scoring 16-10 game.
Cardinals rolling into Charlotte to take on the Panthers. Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield both won Heisman trophies playing quarterback for Oklahoma, and also both of them went number 1 overall in their respective NFL drafts. Unfortunately, neither QB is playing up to their team's expectations. Murray versus his massive new contract, and Mayfield versus his supposed savior status. Murray needs to take offensive matters more into his own hands, or Arizona's in danger of a free fall and falling out of playoff contention. The defense has just started to play better, and it's time for him to respond. And here he should get plenty of support from James Conner and the traditional running game. I like the Cardinals to win this game. The Cardinals, believe it or not, are not favored in this game. The Panthers are favored by 2. The over-under is 42.5. I like the over in this game. I think both teams will be able to score.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet the Cardinals +2. I would take them straight up. They're +105. So I like the Cardinals to win this game. +105. Get that bet now before the lines change, because by the end of the week, the Cardinals are going to be favored in this game.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I don't see Arizona losing this game. Yes, they're in Carolina, but I just honestly don't see Arizona losing this game. I mean, Kyler Murray should go off in this game. He can run, he can pass. I think he's going to go off crazy. Give me the Cardinals straight up. 42.5. I think I like the over on that. The Cardinals can score. Carolina can definitely score as well. So give me some offense. Give me that over.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals as well for my pick. I'm going to agree with Steven. The Cardinals can score, so I'm going to go with the over on it. I think the Panthers have a little bit too much going on with a Mayfield situation for them to be able to focus on winning. So as long as Kyler could stay away from some video games for a second, they'll have a good game, good Sunday for him.
The beta's closed. It's okay.
Yeah, the Call of Duty beta is over. The game doesn't come out for another couple weeks, so he's got some time. And in that time, I think Kyler Murray will perform. I normally have a lot of faith in Kyler Murray. I really like him as a quarterback. I like that he came into the league and everybody was counting him out because of his height and his size. And he's proved a lot of people wrong. He's a really good quarterback, in my opinion. He can definitely produce for his team and make things happen in key situations. I think it might take some of those key situations this week because both of these teams are not too great. I think it will be a offensive, I guess you could say a shootout, because I don't think either of the defenses will really contain each other. I don't know why Carolina's favored in this game though. That's kind of weird to me.
That line will shift by the end of the week. They won't be favored by the time it kicks off.
That's a weird money or spread to bet on right now. So Carolina has not been playing as bad as like people were thinking this year. I mean, Baker hasn't been performing as well as we thought he was going to. Christian McCaffrey's kind of back though, just a little bit. Back being he's not hurt. I am going to agree with you guys with the Cardinals. We are all in agreement here. Cardinals away. Cardinals cover the 2. Obviously, they're not favored right now. And I'll take the over as well. I'll take over 42.5.
Going back to the betting aspect, you wouldn't even take them +2 because you have to bet $110 to win $100. Take them straight up. You bet $100, you win $105. So better bet to take. There you go. Like I said, as of right now, that's what it is. Probably by tomorrow, that's going to shift. Monday Night Football. You have an NFC West showdown. The Rams are traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The 49ers currently are favored by 2 in this game. The over-under is 41.5. The Rams and 49ers are getting shaky quarterback play as Matthew Stafford is coming off a right elbow injury and Jimmy Garoppolo is operating post-right shoulder surgery. This should be a typical grudge match. I think both teams are going to play well. It's going to come down to whose defense shows up first because I think both teams can score on each other as well. I mean, it's like you said, the division rivalries are always scary games for anybody that's playing in them. 49ers are favored. I like the Rams in this game. I like the Rams. I'd take them straight up. They're +110. 2-point dogs right now. That could shift as well, but the Niners do have a good defense. I think the Rams have a better defense. I like the Rams. Take them straight up. Over-under is 41.5. I'll take the over on that too.
I don't know. The 49ers are struggling, I think, a little bit on offense. The Rams are too. I mean, the Rams haven't been performing as well as we thought they should be this year. I mean, they lost to the Bills. They got blown out by the Bills. They almost lost to Atlanta, and they put 20 points up against Arizona. Their offense hasn't been producing well. Both defenses are really good, so this could be a very low-scoring game, honestly, to me. I'm going to take the under definitely for this one. 41.5 points right now. That's low, but I think that's still a little high for this game. But I do have the Rams winning, so I'll take the Rams straight up.
I'm going to agree with you guys and go with the Rams. Jimmy G's just struggling too much for me to be able to pick the Niners. Offense isn't what it's been in the past years, so the Rams are not what they were last year, but they're still the better team overall. 41.5. They're both explosive enough to be able to go over that. Easy win for the Rams though. That it's going to come down to who could not cause a safety and run on that end zone line. That's what it's going to come down to.
Fucking Jimmy G, dude.
He won't do that again.
Never again will he do that.
Someone was like, he was the first quarterback to score a safety and a pick six in the same play.
Well, fellas, this might shock you, but I'm lone wolfing it again. I am taking the Niners in this game. Casey, you mentioned it when you started your spiel. Division rivalries, baby. This is one of those divisions where the games are always close. Doesn't matter what fuck team you're playing, the games are always tight as fuck. I think this is going to be a low-ass scoring game, and it's going to be a defensive shootout. I think it might be kind of boring, honestly, but people who enjoy like the entire aspect of football and enjoy good defenses will enjoy the game. Most people won't. I'm going to say this game's going to be very close. I don't know if I want to stay in single digits, so I'm definitely taking the under on the 41.5, and I want to go like 13-10 Niners. I think it's going to be really low scoring. I think the defensive lines are going to get to the shitty quarterback play, and the running games haven't proved anything this year. So I think the Niners will be more creative with their offense, and I think the Niners will come out on top, 13-10.